getting answers. From all across Northern California, this is the CBS 13 News at 10.
And you bet we are bracing for more wet weather. A storm is moving in again tomorrow. A live look at Titan HD radar, and the water's moving. Earlier this week, the Bureau of Reclamation increased water releases from Folsom Lake in response to last week's storms. Folsom Lake is sitting at 123% of normal.
And reservoirs are filling up in the Bay Area as well. For the first time in years, water's being released from Lake Sonoma. The lake is at 101% of capacity. It supplies water to Sonoma, Mendocino, and Marin counties as well. Now, this new round of rain is a concern for communities already soaked from this last storm system. Good evening. I'm Christina Janes.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Lopez. CBS 13 Steve Large is live near Marysville in Yuba County with some safety measures in place as we get set for another round of wet weather, Steve.
And let's begin by showing you over my shoulder. The flags are showing that the winds have already started to pick up, and next come the rains. In fact, days and days of rain on the way. That means lots and lots of work for Caltrans crews. It's a new 5-day flood watch following flooding in Olivehurst this weekend that still has streets wet.
When it comes down hard like that, it really gets us.
Near Olivehurst, so much water hit this section of Highway 70. A passenger in one car drowned when the driver drove into at least 6 feet of floodwater. He was arrested for DUI. So much rain in such a short time, Caltrans drains and pumps couldn't remove it fast enough. This canal overflowed. So ahead of this next round of storms, the Office of Emergency Services brought in sandbags. Lots of sandbags. Stretching more than a football field along Highway 70. 3,500 sandbags are in place as a temporary safeguard for the rain on the way.
And it's basically was like a flash flood. You just got a lot of water coming down.
Gilbert Moch-Chan says Caltrans is monitoring all of its flood-prone locations ahead of the next storm.
Our pumps are working there. We've shored up this area. It's just a matter of how much volume of rain.
It definitely took me by surprise. I did not believe that it could get that deep in that location.
Olivehurst Fire Chief Wade Harrison was on scene at the highway drowning. Now his volunteer fire department is on alert ahead of the next round of rain.
I informed the entire department to be prepared, to keep your pagers on, and if you hear something, come back. We need the help.
The warnings are sent. Beware of dangerous downpours. More flooding is in the forecast. And just driving around, looking at the ground, so saturated that a lot of the fields in this particular area look like marshes, so it really won't take a whole lot of rain for the flooding here to begin.
They've seen it before, but they're getting ready. Okay, Steve, live in Marysville tonight. Thanks. The Department of Water Resources, by the way, is keeping a close eye on rising waters at the Sacramento River. Water levels are currently at their highest since 2006. If it gets too high, officials will have to open up a few gates of the Sacramento Weir, releasing water from the river to the Sacramento and Yolo bypass.
48 gates here at the Sacramento Weir. They will act as a pressure reliever when the river swells up.
Officials say it'll be a while before they're needed. Water levels are currently up to 18 feet. The gates won't need to be open until it hits 27.5 feet.
Well, let's get to Dave now. He's in the Weather Center with a look at what we can expect with this storm. Dave?
Yeah, as Steve was saying, we're looking at a prolonged period of wet weather, so that's why the National Weather Service has issued all the way until the tail end of Sunday what you see right here, a flood watch. And this is for urban and small stream flooding, potential issues, rises in creeks and rivers. And again, the usual suspect areas, when you get too much rain, you know where they are, where you end up with the water crossing over roadways. And again, these creeks rising and doing that. So that's the area you see there in green. Now, this is a future cast on potential rainfall, and I want you to notice by the time we hit tomorrow evening, we're already at 3/4 of an inch of rain around Sacramento. Northern San Joaquin Valley, you guys are high and dry until we get on into, say, Friday. Then you're going to start to get some rain in here, but by Saturday, we're already at 1.5 inches nearly of rain around Sacramento, so you can see how all that rain is going to come in here, totaling out to maybe 2 to 4 inches in the valley, 5 inches, nearly 7.5 inches all the way into Tuesday for the foothills, and of course several feet of snow up in the higher elevation. So right now, northern part of the state seeing the leading edge of this moisture. And the reason it's staying up there for now, and the reason we were so mild today and only saw maybe a couple of sprinkles, because high pressure has been in place to keep this all away. Well, the core low for this one is up here. There's a secondary low out here. There's more of them on the way. And notice what we're tapping, an area of moisture, a moisture plume. And this one doesn't just stop right here. It goes all the way back to Hawaii. So we've got a lot of moisture to bring in here. And that's why we're looking at maybe 4 to 5 days of some pretty significant rain. We'll have more details details coming up here in a bit. Back over to you.
We'll see you soon, Dave.
Right, sure.
Stay with CBS 13 for the latest weather conditions. You can always sign up for breaking news alerts at CBS13.com.
Well, we're following some breaking news tonight near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At least 5 people are dead. 3 others are wounded after a shooting. These are live pictures for you right now from the scene. This happened around 8 o'clock our time tonight in the town of Wilkinsburg. Neighbors reported hearing more than 25 gunshots in the area. Our preliminary investigation found this shooting started after a backyard party. The 2 gunmen at this point have not been caught. As soon as we get new information, we will bring it to you. New pictures just out tonight show what first responders were up against following that ACE train derailment near Fremont. This was the Alameda County Fire Department's view in one of the train cars that flew off the tracks on Monday night. Now imagine being a passenger when that thing flipped sideways as well. Investigators say mudslide debris caused the derailment, which sent 9 people to the hospital. ACE trains resumed normal service today following the 36-hour cleanup. An ACE spokesman says ridership was down a little bit today, but they expected to bounce back in the coming days. Now, the ride between Stockton and San Jose may take a little bit longer than normal because ACE is running at reduced speeds near the accident site in Niles Canyon.
Developing tonight, a suspicious van spotted on a local college campus is rattling nerves. This van was noticed late at night in one of the parking lots at Sac State after the driver approached a female student.
Campus police are now warning students to be cautious. CBS 13's Sharon Raget joins us now live with more on what happened there. Sharon?
That's right, Tony and Christina. Sac State Police say this is a very unusual incident. They're still investigating it, but at least one female student was approached here in this parking lot behind me overnight on Sunday by a man in a van posing to be the campus shuttle. Thankfully, that student did not take that ride.
Yeah, I park over there every day, and when I hear an incident like that, it really scares me.
For Sac State student Reem Kutsi, learning about Sunday night's suspicious van on campus was alarming.
We stay late at campus to study, and if this happened to a girl, then it can happen to me.
Female students are often seen late at night coming and going through these parking lots, and some tell me with the frequency of these events increasing, it takes away the shock factor.
There's been reports since I've started here about different types of assaults on women in the parking garages. Is this worrisome at all?
Yeah, it is, because he could have just snatched her.
The incident happened here about 1 a.m. when this female student exited her car and was walking on the top floor of parking structure 2. As she was walking, she was approached by a dark green van with rear tinted windows. The driver of that van asking her if she'd asked for a campus shuttle. Thankfully, the student noticed the van had no markings. She also was aware that the campus night shuttle does not run on weekends.
It's very fortunate that our student is aware of that, and she had great situational awareness and turned down the invitation for the ride.
So I think it's kind of crazy that a guy went out of his way to find a van that was school color, come to Sac State, and look for a girl that was here late at night.
Some students feel Sac State Police need to do more and have more of a presence, and are now hoping to get answers.
Definitely find him before like another incident happens.
Now, once this female student told the driver of that van that she did not ask for a shuttle, well, he just thanked her and drove off. Sac State Police are investigating and are hoping that this incident will help other students to become more vigilant.
No question. Let's hope it's heads up for everybody. Sharon Raget live at Sac State for us. Sharon, thank you.
To this now, thousands are saying their goodbyes to the former First Lady Nancy Reagan during the first of 2 days of public mourning. She died of congestive heart failure, as you know, on Sunday. She was 94. As in life, Nancy Reagan will forever be by her husband's side. She'll be buried just inches from him on Friday. First Lady Michelle Obama, former President George W. Bush, and former First Ladies Laura Bush, Rosalind Carter, and Hillary Clinton will all attend Mrs. Reagan's private funeral set for Friday at 11. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders debated in Florida tonight for the final time before Tuesday's primary there and those in other key states.
CBS 13's Marley Hall has the latest now from Miami.
The first tense exchange of the night wasn't between candidates, but between Univision moderator Jorge Ramos and Hillary Clinton. He asked her about the investigation into the private email server she used while Secretary of State.
If you get indicted, would you drop out?
Oh, for goodness, that is not going to happen. I'm not even answering that question.
Immigration was a central topic of the debate. Both candidates promised not to deport undocumented children and to support swift action on reform.
If the Congress does not do its job, as President of the United States, I will use the executive powers of that office to do what has to be done.
I am committed to introducing comprehensive immigration reform with a path to citizenship in the first 100 days of my presidency.
Clinton and Sanders will face off again on Tuesday here in Florida. That's when voters here and in 4 other states will vote in primary elections. Sanders and Clinton offer differing views of Tuesday's Michigan primary.
It was a very close race. We've had some of those. I've won some, I've lost some.
We have won, including Michigan last night, which some people considered one of the major political upsets in modern American history.
Is Donald Trump a racist?
Both candidates declined a chance to call Republican frontrunner Donald Trump a racist, but said they disagree with his views on Mexican immigrants and his call for a wall along the Mexican border.
Now, tomorrow night, it will be the 4 remaining Republican candidates who will debate for their final time before Tuesday's primaries.
Let's talk about one of those candidates, Marco Rubio. He is voicing his regret tonight for things he said to Donald Trump. Rubio told the Miami Herald today that if he had to do it all over again, he wouldn't have commented on the size of the Republican frontrunner's hands, his haircut, or his tan. Rubio failed to win anything Tuesday night, while Trump picked up 3 states, as you know, and Ted Cruz picked up 1. The Republicans, as we said, will face off in another debate tomorrow night.
All new here at 10 o'clock, allegations of racist chants at a local high school basketball game, the alleged targets, and the strong reaction.
Too much water, not enough power. What forced the local hospital to cancel a number of patient surgeries? We're live getting answers.
Plus, an all-out brawl on board a jetliner as 5 female passengers go at it. So what sparked this mid-air madness? Dave?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. And get ready for more rain. It's on the way. We'll time out when the first drops should be hitting the area. When we come back in 60 seconds, there's a live look from our Mercedes-Benz Fairfield camera out to the west.